Hi everyone, welcome to After Class.
A podcast by two passionate adult ballerinas about all things adult ballet related.
And some random thoughts in between.
We're so glad you're here.
So grab your water bottle
Or a cup of coffee.
and join us for a quick chat after class.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of After Class. Today, we're going to be talking about 4 different ways that you can keep your momentum going this summer when your studio is closed. I know a lot of studios, especially in the States right now, they have temporary closures during summer where they take a brief break, whether it's a week, a couple weeks. I know some studios are even closed for a month. And that can be really hard when you're in the middle of your training and you really want to keep going and then your studio shuts down. So we want to do an episode to give you some suggestions for ways that you can keep your momentum. So welcome to my co-host, Elena.
Hello everyone.
I think this is going to be a good one because I know there's a lot of people. I don't know, is it the same right now in Australia? Because you guys are on a different.
We are in winter over here, but it's same. We are in winter holidays at the moment and studios are also closing for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, that's funny. It's like the opposite reason, because that happens to us here too in winter, because for us it's around Christmas. So whether whether you're in whatever hemisphere you're in, if you're with you on holidays, we're all on holidays, whether summer or winter. So hopefully this is a timely episode. I know even on social media I've been seeing a lot of people being like, "Oh, my studio's closed." So hopefully this can be helpful.
Yeah, and in fact, when you think about holidays, people are like, oh, I would love to rest. But the reality, we don't really get to rest. We actually get to do everything that we don't have time to do while we're working or we are not on holiday. So now this is the time for you to actually dedicate lots of time of improving all those goals that you haven't been able to focus to when you're in your in-person classes. So this could be an amazing chance for that.
Yeah, I think that's a great way even just start the episode is kind of reframing the perspective because like you said, I think sometimes it feels like, oh, the studio's closed. You think you're going to kind of stall out, but instead looking at it as an opportunity of like, I can really take this time to hone in and focus on some things. So maybe we'll just jump right in with the first way.
It will be definitely 100% using YouTube on your advantage. And sometimes it can be a little bit hard just to do it by yourself, and you might struggle to find a little bit of motivation just to play YouTube, get ready, and do it by yourself. So, what about scheduling YouTube class with one of your friends?
Yeah, and I love this tip because, like you said, I'm someone, I don't know, I'm sure there's other people listening who are the same. Like, I have a hard time having the discipline to pop on a class. Like, I need live, whether it's in studio, Zoom, like that gives me a lot more motivation to get it done than just like, oh, I'll take a YouTube class at some point today. And then the day goes and you're like, oh, okay, it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So having a
happen.
friend is a great way if you can schedule a friend to link up with. I actually do this with a friend who lives in Italy. We just plan, we do it like once a month-ish where we say, on a Saturday or a Friday, it's my morning, her evening, and we just plan to do a YouTube class together. And having that extra accountability of I know that there's someone else who I'm going to be doing it with is super fun. And literally all you have to do is get on Zoom and then screen share a class. It's so easy.
So easy. And on top of that, it is not just adding accountability, it's also adding that social connection. The reason why we go in person classes is because we not only want that direct feedback in person, but as well to socializing and meeting more people that are in the same boat as us. So once you do that YouTube lesson with your friends, you can always use it to catch up, to talk a little bit. And it's not just talking about ballet, but also just having that extra social connection to it and not be isolated by yourself for the next holidays.
Totally agree. And I think too, like if you want to take this to the next level, but I think it could be fun, is like if there's someone that you just know on Instagram, like I know a lot of us have in the adult ballet communities an Instagram account, and there's someone who you like each other's posts and you DM sometime, but like you don't live in the same city. I would say like ask them if they ever want to do a YouTube class with you. Like that's such a fun way to get to connect with someone face to face, screen to screen.
It's a great idea. And even if you don't want to go to the private DM, you can just post on your stories like, hey, I'm doing a YouTube class. Would anyone like to catch up or join? Because probably there is a lot of people that are in the same situation where they are like, I don't want to do a YouTube class alone, but I don't really want to DM anyone either. Like, how do I do this? Put on your stories. Seriously, that might work. I would love to join to a YouTube class.
Right? I know, I'm like, I'm the same though. I need it to be a party for me to wanna show up. But I think, like
Wine and ballet.
yeah, right. Honestly, make it wine and ballet. If it's the morning, make it coffee and ballet. Whenever I do class with my friend in Italy, like it's evening for her, it's morning for me. I always have my coffee. So it's like morning coffee and ballet class. But the one thing or one of the many things I love about the adult ballet community is I feel like people are really game for kind of anything. And I bet you, like you said, if you were to post that on your Instagram stories and just be like, anyone want to do a YouTube class at this day and time? Like, let me know. I'll send you the Zoom info. I bet you will have at least one or two people.
Pretty cool crew. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a community that is down for social activities. I definitely realize that every time I go to an intensive. I think that's a great, easy way to keep your motivation going, even
Yeah.
if your studio's closed. Just make it a fun social event, do a YouTube class, and it's free. Win-win. And I think too, like in the chatting after class, making it even about sharing your goals, sharing what you're working on. Like that's also a great way to make the most of the experience of doing a Zoom class is not just taking the class itself, but also just having the accountability for goal setting. Hey, adult dancer, do you love the podcast and want more resources, news, and tips to support your ballet goals? Head over to thebusybunhead.com, your source for all things adult ballet. Stay in the know, find community, and fuel your motivation with resources like the bulletin board, a free monthly newsletter, and the Bunhead Book Club. Brand new to ballet? Book a session to get your questions answered. It's all waiting for you at thebusybunhead.com. So what would you say is another good way that people can maintain momentum when their studio is closed?
I think it's focusing on keeping and maintaining their strength rather than just focusing on keep doing ballet, 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 ballet. Yes, we know that ballet it's actually the base. The bar classes are the base of everything we need to improve in the future on center and allegros. However, so many studies have been proven that ballet per se, just as the class, will not improve your strength. You need to do cross training. Therefore, just use this time to do you don't need to only be in the studio. You don't need to only be dancing. You can do a little bit of Pilates, go in and do some yoga, go and do some swimming now that you are in summer. And try to find a way to keep your strength, your flexibility in a way that you can actually enjoy. That is not just ballet. And you might even find a way to connect to another activity that can actually relate to your ballet improvement and goals.
Yeah, and it's great to give your body an opportunity to work in ways that are different from ballet. We've talked about this in the past with like when we've had Ali on about how just as an example, everything in ballet is turned out. So we get used to working in one position. And then it's really good to counteract that with other ways of moving. And so, like you said, doing things like Pilates, yoga, other types of movement where you're not in turnout is also really, really important. And so using a time when your studio is closed where maybe you're not taking as many ballet classes, but that doesn't mean that you are doing anything. You can actually be really helping your body balance out in that time in the way that you're training. So taking classes, there's also great stuff online on YouTube. Again, like there's great strength training stuff. The Dancer Strong platform by Ali. She's been a guest on the podcast a couple times. She has a fantastic strength training platform that is specifically geared towards dancers. So like I know in seasons where either my studio's been closed or for whatever reason with work or something, I wasn't able to get to the studio, and I take those days and I just make sure that I'm doing a strength training workout on her platform. And that's a great way to kind of keep myself going even when I'm not making
Yeah.
an in-person class.
What would be another tip?
Yeah, so I think using this time to book into a Zoom class is also another great avenue to take when your studio is closed. Like we were saying earlier, I know for many of us, it can be hard doing a YouTube class where it's not like time bound and you're not really accountable to show up because you didn't pay for anything. Like I totally get it, which is why we suggested doing it with a friend. But if even that is not something that you're wanting to do, another great option is to book into a live Zoom class. So there is that same level of accountability that you would get with an in-person class in the sense that it's like it's at a specific time, you are going to be on camera and you're going to pay for it. Like I know for me, That helps.
Definitely, but it's true. Once you commit to it and once you spend the money, you're like, oh, there's no way back. It's done. You paid, you're gonna join. And it's also another way we talked about it before in our episode, how important it is to find different teachers' opinion and different teachers' feedback. So that could be your opportunity to be like, okay, for some reason, I don't get the feedback from my teacher in person classes. So you find different styles, different teachers, and you might be like, oh, okay, this feedback worked for me in this way. And it's not just doing the classes, it's also widening your horizons. Yeah, like getting more of a bigger picture in ballet.
Yeah, just like you said, I agree. I think it's so valuable to take from multiple different teachers and just to see how they explain things. Like, I've been in classes so many times where a teacher just said a phrase where you can tell it's a phrase that they use all the time, but I had never heard it before. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was so helpful. So I think taking class from different teachers where that maybe doesn't always fit in your normal schedule. Maybe you're already committed and you love your studio and you don't like missing classes at your normal studio. I know I'm that way too. I'm like, I will always be dedicated to my studio. But then when it's closed for a week, that is a great time to be like, actually, there's this teacher I've seen online that offers Zoom classes and I would love to check it out. And this week, I actually have the time to do it because I'm not going to my regular classes. So it is a really great opportunity. Like we were saying at the beginning, I think kind of reframing this week or 2 weeks or month as an opportunity to try new ways of working, try new avenues of learning, and taking a Zoom class from someone that you admire, respect their online content can be a really, really great way to learn and grow.
Exactly. Another great reason for booking these online lessons is you might really want to have a one on one class with an expert that can tailor a program for you. Let's say that you have been trying of doing point classes, you've been doing the point classes by yourself in a group setting, but you actually are needing for a little bit more personal program that works for you. So you can use your time for that. You can use the time only to be like, I have a student that she comes to me now and then and she's like, I just want a class for pirouettes. That's it. I just want to do pirouettes and I spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, however you want to divide the time, how much time you want, dedicate it only to pirouettes. Or one day we weren't just doing point class in the bar because she just wanted to do point on the bar. I want to be able to go and clean my technique at the bar. So that's a great time for you to go and be like, okay, but what do I want to focus these holidays? You create that goal that you want to have. And then, okay, I can do a YouTube class for that. I can do a socializing class with my bestie here. And then you are going, okay, I did the first week all that in a group setting and by myself. Why don't I use the second class, the second week for one private to check where I'm at or to create that private personal feedback or project or program that you want for yourself?
Yeah, that's a great tip. I think too, on a practical level, like if your studio is closed and you're not paying for a couple of in-person classes that week, taking that money that you're used to spending and being able to put it towards a private, maybe in your normal budget, you can't afford to add in privates, but the week that your studio is closed, especially if, you can do any of the other tips that are free, you can just say, I'm going to do all YouTube content, do a YouTube class with my friend, find some YouTube videos on strength training, and then I'm going to take all that money and put it towards paying for a Zoom private, which is actually the perfect time to let people know, if I may, that you are officially coming back next week to teaching and your privates are very affordable.
Yeah, we're gonna leave the link down below so you guys have a direct link to the class. But yeah, I'm finally coming back to classes. I said I think that the first episode that we record, I'm like, I'm coming back on the 1st of July, and there was like I couldn't. Rio is too cute and I can't get away from him. No, but I'm definitely coming back now next week.
It'll be great to like have you back in the atmosphere, in the adult ballet atmosphere. So yeah, you can book a
Definitely.
private with Yelena if that's something that you're wanting to do. Because privates, I mean, we've talked about this on past episodes, so valuable, such a great time to get specific questions answered. Like I know one of the things that we've talked about on a past episode, and this is something that I do, is coming into the private, like Yelena mentioned, she has a student that does this. I do the same thing where it's like, I want to work on this one thing or these two things and really taking that time to just like nail things down that are giving you trouble in group class settings. It's such a great use of money and
Yeah.
time.
Something really good is if your teacher doesn't, if you book the private class and that teacher didn't send you any form to fill in or any questions, contact the teacher by yourself, sending the questions. Hi, because at the end, remember, you pay. It's your time, it's your class, and it's a private. It's for you. And if the teacher didn't contact you, it's because they might be busy. So you make sure that you create your questions and say, Hi, Miss Pa 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 Pa. I would like for you to please have in consideration these questions or this goal for my class. Because me personally, it gives me a great idea on what to do with you. Rather than going to class and be like, ooh, what do we do? Which level is she at? Which I don't do. My classes, I will always, if you are a first time student, I will always send you a form to fill in to have an idea the level you're at. But I would love to have those extra questions that say, look, I've been dancing for 7 years, but for some reason, I cannot have my ponche, and we're going to work on ponche. And that's it. So use this time as well to connect with that private person and just send all your questions and all your ideas and goals.
Great tip. All right. So the last one, the last way that I think is a great suggestion for maintaining momentum is creating a personal goal or challenge for whatever the time frame is. So this is really like, I think this is like expert level if you're wanting to really keep momentum, is to take that initiative to set a plan for yourself of something that you really want to dive in and work on, and like tailoring all of your decisions
Yeah.
around that, or most of your decisions around that. Like, I want to work on pirouettes. Like, my studio is closed for the next week. I'm going to take time every day, the time that I would be spending being in class, and I'm going to work on my pirouette and doing exercises that are related to strengthening your pirouettes. Obviously, you can't just do pirouettes for an hour, but there's a lot of exercises you can do that are related to like strengthening your standing leg or working on your balance, things like that.
Yeah,
So,
transferring weight and
yep.
all those things. Yeah. There is so many ways and you can divide your pirouettes. Like just take the entire step. And we're saying pirouettes now, but take every step that you really want to improve and dissect it.
And I think so many of us as adults were short on time in a normal week, and we're just trying to squeeze in classes, and having classes removed as an option. Again, changing the mindset to, okay, what can I use this time for? And is there something that you continually struggle with in class, but you don't feel like you have the time to really dedicate to getting deeper into it? Like, I know that that's me a lot of the time. I don't have time to go to class and get into the nitty-gritty of balance. And so without class in the picture, this is a great time. Like, get in the nitty-gritty of doing balance days because you have that freed up time. So almost like maintaining the slot that you would have for
Yeah.
that class and saying, rather than filling it with something else, I'm going to fill it with working on this hyper specific goal of
Yeah.
like pirouette, penché, balancé, pick your steps, and then tracking your progress with
Yeah,
taking
exactly.
videos of yourself. Like, you can make a lot of progress in a week. And I think I would shy away from making it that the goal is, oh, I have to be able to do XYZ by the end of the week, but more so making the goal, I'm going to spend this much time, because you can't always control how long something is going to take you to master, but you can control the time and energy you put into it. So that's kind of my 2 cents, is making the goal more about, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time versus I have to have my double pirouette by the end of the week. From personal experience, I can tell you that it doesn't always work like that.
It's too challenging. Like your mindset doesn't go from I need to slowly improve this. It goes into I gotta do that. So now you have this urgency and this need to do that, improve to yourself because you said in a week you're gonna do it. So make it specific, but make sure that they are realistic on the way you build up there. Yeah. And
Really
the
great.
last thing is, it looks like it's forever. And if you have, oh my God, these 2 weeks look so long. Remember that time is so relative that you really have to say, I'm going to do this at the time, at this time, at this day, and this is what I need to do. Otherwise, it will just go quick and you will not realize.
Yeah. Yeah. And you will look back and be like, I didn't do anything. And honestly, too, we'll take this moment as a small aside to say, if what you really need right now is rest, that's
Do
okay.
it.
I feel like we always have to like throw that out there, because as adult ballet dancers, we tend to be on the high achieving end of the spectrum. I think most adult dancers I know are perfectionists. And so maybe what you need is permission to rest this week. And that's great. I actually did that a couple weeks ago. I was a busy week of vacationing with my family and things like that. And at first I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should try to bring my point shoes on vacation so I can at least like be doing some releves and stuff. And then I was like, you know what?
No.
I just need to relax. My calves are tired. I need to chill out. I need to let the calves rest. So do what you need to do. This isn't like you are less than if you're not taking your week off to go hard, but it's more like personal preference. If you really want to maintain your momentum, these are tips for you.
Exactly. Well, to finish up with the episode, I will say that if anyone has any other tips that you use for your summer practice or while these holidays are happening, we would love to hear.
And if you enjoyed this episode and you would like to leave us a review, we really appreciate it. It helps other adult dancers find the podcast, and we read all of them and we love them, and they truly mean so much to us. We really hope you enjoyed the episode, and we will catch you on the next one.
See ya! Thank you for listening to After Class.
Join the community on YouTube and Instagram, or come dance with us, our weekly Zoom classes for adult ballerinas like you.
Links included in the episode description. Special thank you to our sponsors.
See you next time after class. Podcast produced by Mission Bridge Media.